I don't know if he's in his prime. He's fat. He should be lean and mean. He's fat and funky. I saw him with his shirt off the other day. He's fat. I thought, did you start training already?
Buster Douglas was fat, am I right?
I know, but you're no Buster Douglas. He's not gonna win. He can't even knock out Nick Diaz. Nick Diaz is 40 pounds.
But you're still average. You're not.
It's not true. I just beat a 5-time world champion.
A UFC.
You don't even know. You don't know my ability.
Which I'm entitled to, which is average is very complimentary to you as a boxer.
Jake Paul, you're number one, and you will not fight me because you know how it's gonna go. Get in the ring in February and you will see. I'm going to destroy you.
All right, let's dive right into this wild story about Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. Jake's out there training, probably thinking he's hot stuff, when suddenly the internet blows up with pros roasting him left and right. It's like a virtual boxing ring, but instead of punches, they're throwing shade. Word on the street is that Jake released some new training footage, supposedly showing off his skills for his upcoming fight with Iron Mike. But man, the pros were not having it. They tore into him like a pack of hungry wolves. Now, I gotta say, I wasn't there in person, but from what I heard, it all went down during this private behind-the-scenes conversation. Apparently, a bunch of big names in boxing got together and just couldn't resist taking shots at Jake. First up, we've got the legendary Floyd Mayweather.
You want to run it?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So let's
Let's do it.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Yes, sir.
Get the paperwork for this bum.
Get Al Heyman.
Absolutely. I don't need Al Heyman.
Let me call Al Heyman.
I'm my own boss. I'm my own boss.
One night. Got your hat. Got your hat. Got your hat.
Rumor has it he watched Jake's footage and just burst out laughing. He allegedly said something like, "This kid thinks he can take on Tyson? He's gonna get knocked into next week." Now, we all know Floyd's got a way with words, but damn, that's cold. But wait, it gets better. Canelo Alvarez, the current pound-for-pound king, supposedly chimed in too. Word is he shook his head and muttered, "This is not boxing. This is a circus." Ouch. That's gotta sting, especially coming from someone like Canelo. And then there's Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King himself. Now, Fury's known for his colorful commentary, and he didn't disappoint this time. Apparently, he watched the footage and exclaimed, "Bloody hell, it's like watching a newborn giraffe try to box." I mean, can you even imagine? That visual alone is hilarious. But here's where it gets really juicy. Anthony Joshua, who's been pretty quiet lately, allegedly couldn't resist throwing his 2 cents in. Word is, he said, "Jake's got heart. I'll give him that. But heart won't save you when Iron Mike starts swinging." Talk about a backhanded compliment. Now, I've got to say, as someone who's been following boxing for years, this whole situation is just mind-blowing. I mean, Jake Paul, the YouTuber turned boxer, going up against Mike Tyson, one of the most feared heavyweights in history. It's like David versus Goliath if David had a YouTube channel and Goliath was, well, Mike freaking Tyson. But you know what? Part of me can't help but admire Jake's audacity. I mean, the guy's got guts, that's for sure. He's taking on a legend. And whether you love him or hate him, you've got to admit that takes some serious cojones. At the same time, though, I can't help but wonder if he's bitten off more than he can chew this time. I mean, Tyson may be older now, but have you seen those recent training videos? The man's still got dynamite in his fists. And let's be real, the pros roasting Jake aren't just doing it for fun. These are guys who've been in the game for years, who've taken their lumps and earned their stripes. When they talk, it's worth listening to. But here's the thing. Boxing's a funny sport. Anything can happen once that bell rings. We've seen underdogs pull off miracles before. Could Jake be the next Rocky story? Or is he going to get flattened faster than you can say Iron Mike? I don't know about you, but I'm on the edge of my seat waiting to see how this all plays out. It's like a train wreck you can't look away from, you know? Part of you wants to cover your eyes, but you just can't help peeking through your fingers. Let's talk about what this means for boxing as a whole. I mean, we're living in a world where social media stars are stepping into the ring with legends. Is this the future of the sport, or is it just a flash in the pan? On one hand, you've got purists who say this is making a mockery of boxing. They argue that it's disrespecting the history and tradition of the sweet science. And I get where they're coming from. Boxing's a serious business with real risks and consequences. But on the other hand, you can't deny that fights like this bring eyeballs to the sport. They get people talking, they generate buzz. And in a world where attention is currency, that's worth something. Plus, let's be honest, boxing's always had a bit of showmanship to it. From Muhammad Ali's trash talk to
This man has never knocked nobody out cold. He's a bully. He's slow. He has no skill, no footwork. He's awkward. And I have given him a name. I named Floyd Patterson the Rabbit. I named Sonny Liston the Bear. And he shall be known as officially as the Mummy. The Mummy.
And why the Mummy?
Because he fights. When he's fighting, if you ever watch him in the ring, he drags like that after his opponent. And how's a mummy gonna catch me? When you're fighting a mummy, you just keep a step ahead of the mummy. See? Just move on the mummy. No, mummy, I'm over here. No, mummy, I'm over here. Yeah, no, you're moving too fast. The mummy don't move that fast.
Prince Nassim's ring entrances, there's always been an element of entertainment mixed in with the sport. Maybe Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson is the modern-day equivalent of those spectacles. It's different, sure. But is it really that far removed from the spirit of boxing? I don't know, man. It's a tough call. Part of me wants to dismiss it as a circus act, but another part of me is genuinely intrigued. I mean, who doesn't want to see if the upstart can pull off the impossible? And let's not forget, Mike Tyson's no spring chicken anymore. He's still a beast, don't get me wrong, but he's not the same fighter he was in his prime. Could that level the playing field a bit? Or is experience going to trump youth in this case? And it's like a real-life Rocky IV. Now let's circle back to that training footage that got all the pros riled up. I've seen it, and I've got to say it's, interesting. Jake's definitely putting in the work, you can see that. He's sweating, he's grinding, he's giving it his all. But man, when you compare it to those clips of Tyson hitting the pads, it's like comparing a kitten to a tiger. Tyson may be older, but he's still got that explosive power, that killer instinct. It's written all over his face. And that's what a lot of the pros were picking up on, I think. They see Jake's determination, sure, but they also see the raw, natural talent that Tyson has. But here's where it gets interesting. Jake's young, he's hungry, and he's got nothing to lose. In a way, all the pressure's on Tyson. He's the legend. He's the one with the reputation to uphold. If he wins, people will say, well, of course he did. But if he loses? Man, that would be a story for the ages. And let's not forget, Jake's been defying expectations since he started boxing. People laughed when he first stepped into the ring, but he's proven he's more than just a YouTuber playing at being a boxer. He's put in the work, he's improved with every fight, and he's shown he's got some real skills. Is he on the level of a prime Mike Tyson? Hell no. But is he a complete pushover? I don't think so. And in boxing, sometimes that's all you need. Just enough skill to hang in there and land that one lucky punch. We've seen bigger upsets before. Remember when Buster Douglas knocked out Tyson?
Again, he's down, he comes to the uppercut. Somehow or other, Buster's throwing shots back. Hey, look at this! Look at Buster coming back! Did he fight for the legs of Mike? I don't know, he got him again! Oh, nice uppercut by Buster Douglas! Look at this! He's knocked Mike Tyson down for the first time in his career! Mike Tyson hits the canvas! He's in big trouble! He may not be able to recover! It's up to 7 and 8! He's not gonna make it! Unbelievable!
But let's talk about the elephant in the room for a second. The age difference. Tyson's not just older than Jake, he's old enough to be his father. In fact, he's probably closer in age to Jake's grandfather. That's got to play a factor, right? I mean, boxing's a young man's game. It's all about speed, reflexes, recovery time. And let's face it, father time is undefeated. No matter how hard you train, no matter how much you want it, your body just doesn't respond the same way at 50-something as it does at 20-something. But then again, this is Mike Tyson we're talking about. The man's a freak of nature. Have you seen his recent training videos? He's moving like a man half his age, throwing punches that could knock out a rhino. It's like he's found the fountain of youth or something. And let's not forget, with age comes experience. Tyson's forgotten more about boxing than Jake Paul will ever know. He's been in wars. He's faced every style of fighter imaginable. He's got tricks up his sleeve that Jake probably can't even conceive of. But man, can you imagine the atmosphere on fight night? The energy in that arena is going to be electric. You've got Tyson fans who've been following him since the 80s. You've got Jake's young fan base who probably weren't even born when Tyson was in his prime. It's going to be a clash of cultures, a meeting of two very different worlds. And that's what makes this whole situation so fascinating. It's not just a fight, it's a cultural moment. It's old school versus new school, traditional media versus social media, the established order versus the new challengers. In a way, it's a microcosm of the changes we're seeing in society as a whole. The old guard is being challenged by a new generation that plays by different rules, that has different values and priorities. And just like in the larger world, there's friction, there's tension, there's conflict. But there's also opportunity. Opportunity for growth, for learning, for evolution. Maybe, just maybe, this fight is a chance for both sides to learn from each other. For the old school to embrace some new ideas and for the new school to learn to respect tradition and history. Or maybe I'm reading too much into it. Maybe it's just two guys who are going to punch each other in the face for our entertainment. Either way, it's going to be one hell of a show.
Tyson versus
That
Jake
might be
Paul
the
would be
way.
the best fight fucking ever.
How would you feel if you stepped into the ring with Iron Mike?
I would beat him.
Could you fuck him up?
So fucking easy. You versus Jake Paul, like this young YouTuber takes on one of the greatest heavyweight champions that's ever lived.
I'm the best ever.
That fight would be gigantic.
Let's do it, Jakey.
Jake Paul, he's taking on the baddest motherfucker that ever lived.
If Jake Paul's on the other side of the ring, he's gonna have a recognition. He's gonna look over and go, oh my god, that's really Mike Tyson.
I have one punch power. He has one punch power. Who wins?
Let's embrace the chaos. Let's enjoy the ride. Let's appreciate the fact that in 2024, we're living in a world where a YouTuber can step into the ring with one of the greatest boxers of all time. It's crazy, it's unprecedented, but damn if it isn't entertaining. And who knows? Maybe we'll all be surprised. Maybe Jake Paul will shock the world and knock out Mike Tyson. Maybe Tyson will turn back the clock and show us all why he was the baddest man on the planet. Or maybe it'll be something completely unexpected that none of us saw coming. That's the beauty of boxing, isn't it? Anything can happen. And in this case, with these two fighters, in this bizarre, unprecedented matchup, anything probably will happen. It's like the boxing world has been split right down the middle and everyone's got an opinion. On one side, you've got the purists. These are the folks who've been following boxing for decades, who can recite stats from fights that happened before they were born. To them, this whole Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson thing is nothing short of sacrilege. They're saying things like, this is making a mockery of the sport we love, and Jake Paul doesn't deserve to be in the same ring as Iron Mike. And you know what? I get where they're coming from. Boxing has a rich history, a tradition that goes back centuries. It's produced some of the greatest athletes and most iconic moments in sports history. So when you've got a YouTuber stepping into the ring with a legend like Tyson, it's bound to ruffle some feathers. But on the other side, you've got the new school. These are the younger fans, the ones who maybe discovered boxing through Jake Paul's fights. To them, this is exciting, it's fresh, it's a chance to see something they never thought they'd see. They're saying things like, this is going to be epic, and Jake's gonna shock the world. And here's the thing, they've got a point too. Boxing needs new blood, new fans, new energy. And love him or hate him, Jake Paul brings all of that in spades. He's got a massive following, he knows how to promote a fight. And he's got people talking about boxing who might never have given it a second thought before. This isn't just about Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. This fight could set a precedent that changes the face of boxing as we know it. Think about it. If this fight is a massive success, and let's be real, it probably will be, what's to stop other social media stars from challenging boxing legends? What's to stop other sports from following suit?
You fighting, old man. No, seriously, because he fought Floyd.
It's your turn, bro.
Jake is fighting. Why don't you fight like
You know the funny thing is, Evander Holyfield followed me.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you
Messaged
go.
me, DM'd me. I said, nah, I ain't doing that.
Not enough ears.
No, I'm
Could we see a world where the line between athlete and entertainer becomes completely blurred? It's a fascinating prospect, and it's got a lot of people in the boxing world nervous. Because if this becomes the new normal, what does that mean for up-and-coming boxers who've been training their whole lives? What does it mean for the integrity of the sport? But on the flip side, it could also bring a whole new level of excitement and unpredictability to boxing. Imagine a world where anyone with enough followers and enough guts could step into the ring with a legend. It would be chaos, sure, but it would also be incredibly entertaining. And isn't that what sports are supposed to be about, entertainment? I mean, at its core, boxing is about two people punching each other in the face. It's always been a bit crazy, a bit over the top. So maybe this is just the natural evolution of that. Now let's talk about the training aspect for a minute, because that's really what sparked this whole controversy, right?
Day one of training. Psych! You really thought I was partying? We out here, high altitude, Colorado Springs, with the Olympians, Team USA Boxing. Let's get it. Let's go. I'm coming for you, Mike.
Jake's training footage that got all the pros riled up, and here's the thing. Training for a fight isn't just about looking good on camera. It's about preparing your body and mind for one of the most grueling physical and mental challenges imaginable. It's about pushing yourself to your limits day after day, week after week. And when you're training to fight someone like Mike Tyson, man, you better believe you're going to be putting in work. Because Tyson, even at his age, is still a force to be reckoned with. He's got the kind of power that can end a fight with one punch. So when the pros watch Jake's training footage and start roasting him, they're not just being mean. They're looking at it through the lens of their own experiences, their own grueling training camps, their own fights against world-class opponents. They're thinking, is this guy really prepared for what he's about to face? Because let me tell you, stepping into the ring with Mike Tyson isn't like anything Jake Paul has experienced before. It's not like fighting another YouTuber or a retired NBA player or even a former MMA champion. This is Mike freaking Tyson we're talking about. The man who terrorized the heavyweight division for years. The youngest heavyweight champion in history. The guy who was knocking out grown men when he was still a teenager.
He said he's not looking for the Tyson who fought McGillian Mathis. Here's a combination uppercut by Tyson. Tyson laid it on, pouring it on. Down goes Bruno into the ropes.
Now let's take a look at how Tyson took care of business. Ducked under, a shot under the arm in the legs, and from here on out, a rain of punches which buckled Frank Bruno until he was helpless.
If you let Mike Tyson get that kind of leverage with that right uppercut.
We're in the second, and once again, it's all Tyson. And Nelson, who was in deep trouble, is in deeper trouble.
One wicked body shot after another. I mean, you could hear those punches clear out to the parking lot. I couldn't figure out whether Nelson was there to fight or to give a lesson in survival tactics. Anyway, Tyson finally got to him in the second, setting him up with a sweet overhand right, then taking him out with a vicious left hand.
Somehow, you know, I just kind of doubt it. There's only so much punishment anybody can take. That is the limit.
Somehow, you know, I just kind of doubt it. There's only so much punishment anybody can take.
So when the pros see Jake's training footage and start criticizing it, they're not just hating, they're genuinely concerned. Because they know what it takes to compete at the highest level of boxing, and they're not sure Jake is there yet. For Jake, used to performing in front of cameras and crowds, it might not be such a big deal. But for Tyson, who's been out of the spotlight for a while, it could be a shock to the system. Or maybe it'll be the opposite. Maybe Tyson will feed off that energy, use it to turn back the clock and become the Iron Mike of old. And maybe Jake, for all his bravado, will find himself overwhelmed by the moment. These are the questions that make this fight so intriguing. It's not just about who's the better boxer. It's about who can handle the pressure, who can rise to the occasion, who can seize the moment. And that's what makes boxing so great, isn't it? It's not just a physical contest, it's a mental and emotional one, too. It's about heart, about courage, about the ability to dig deep when everything is on the line. So as we count down the days to this historic fight, let's appreciate it for what it is. A fascinating experiment, a clash of eras, a testament to the enduring appeal of the sweet science. Whether you're rooting for Tyson or Paul, whether you think this fight is a joke or the fight of the century, one thing's for sure. It's going to be one hell of a show. So what do you think? Who's your money on? Are you Team Tyson or Team Paul? Do you think this fight is good for boxing, or is it making a mockery of the sport? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get a real debate going. Because at the end of the day, that's what makes boxing great. So whether you're a die-hard boxing fan or a casual observer, whether you're rooting for Tyson or Paul, one thing's for sure, this is going to be one hell of a ride. So buckle up, folks, because in the world of boxing, anything can happen. And with Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, anything probably will. Mentioned many details of this saga, but there's something else very huge that is happening in the wait for this fight. So check out this deep dive where I'll tell you other rumors that are buzzing in the boxing community. You will learn new shocking claims that are attracting people's attention. Click on the screen to watch the deep dive, and thanks for watching this video.